Hello, this is Thomas, K4SWL. If you're new here, I like to do real-time, real-life amateur radio field activation videos. And this morning, I'm at Lake James State Park, the Catawba River access here in western North Carolina. First of all, I'd like to thank all my Patreon and Coffee Fund supporters. Thank you so much for the support. Because of you, I'm able to keep doing what I do. And as you'll see on my videos, there are no ads or anything, and so really the only way I monetize my stuff, I don't worry about monetizing it too much, but is through Patreon and Coffee Fund. So thank you. And if you're not of the means to support me, don't worry about it. My stuff will always be free. It's just all about having a little bit of radio fun out here, and that's what I hope we can do today. I'm actually not alone today. I'm out today with my buddy. This is Labor Day weekend, so it's actually Labor Day today. And I'm out here with my buddy, Vlado, N3CZ, and we're hoping to do like maybe 2, maybe 3 POTA activations today. We'll see. I guess it all depends on how good the propagation is and everything. I won't be showing setting up the antenna here, but because we've already done that. Vlado actually threw the line in the tree. I think it was his first time using a throw line, and so we went through and he did a great job putting it up in the tree, and so we should have good deployment for 40 meters. And this is Vlado, N3CZ. You've seen him in other videos here with me, and he is my partner in crime with a lot of things, amateur radio. I'll just show you though, I'm using my MW0 SAW infed half wave. These aren't for sale. These are just Steve sent me this, gosh, what is it, Steve? Maybe 2-3 years ago now. And I've used it and used it and used it. I love this. And it's just a simple 40 meter infed half wave. And today we're going to use the CFT1 transceiver. Last time I used this, and in fact, we can pull that plastic off here. This is a brand new unit. I traded in my beta unit for this one's the production model. Vlado and I actually used this on field day a little bit, the beta version. So this is the real deal here. This is a production model. I love this radio, and so far this has been getting really good reviews. I can't believe that this was Jonathan's first attempt at making a radio. He had never made one before, and this is his first one. Very impressive. We're hooking it up today to a 3 amp hour battery. Oh yeah, I'll show you something really cool. So Joshua at Tufton made this little protective cover that goes on the top, and it's held on with magnets. You pull this cover off and you can set the radio there, and it makes a stand. Isn't that the coolest thing ever? Very cool. I love it. And we're using the Bomatech TP3, and that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna let Vlado start off the activation today. You're gonna probably hear a little bit of grounds workers working here today. Early. Set up. Oh, let me get you I need to get a speaker out. We won't be able to hear too much otherwise. Very difficult. It'll be very difficult to hear it. So here we go. Let's see. I'm gonna set this here. Let me find a cord for a speaker. I know I've got one in my pack here. Here we go. There's the cord, and here is the speaker. Beautiful. So yeah, you're going to hear a little bit of noise for sure. Okay, get this going. Turn this on.
What are we going to go 40?
Yeah, 40 meters probably is good. So on this one, it's super simple operation. So to switch the band, you just hit this button right here, and it cycles through the 5 bands.
Okay. So let's spot.
I'm not sure what the speed of the keyer is right now.
What, 19?
Yeah.
Perfect.
And this
Here's my call sign.
The really cool thing about the production model that my beta model didn't have is there's a little pot inside the radio that allows you to change the volume of the side tone in relation to the AF gain. Before I found the beta to be a little bit too strong, but of course it was a beta unit. Jonathan implemented this in all the production units, so you can actually adjust that and make it exactly what you want it to be. So we should be good. Have you been spotted? Yeah. Well, you can work a park to park. Huh, it's weird he can't hear us. There's some fading going on there. Huh, okay, well.
This little QSB here.
Yeah.
Will,
that got a little loud.
oh, well, right next to it there's another very strong. So
that's probably the reason he's not hearing.
yeah, this. Okay, so oh, the band is busy there. 42 seems okay. Let's try. We'll say QSY here, just so people.
This is always my luck. When I come to a park in the morning, the ground screws are always working, and it's almost always a leaf blower. This is real life QRM. Just gonna look to see what your RBN number is looking like. Oh. I don't see you spotted on
Not
here.
yet spot. There we go. Okay, somebody's tuning on frequency.
Yep. I'm just looking through here. You know, I don't see you spotted on here at all. Let me spot you. You definitely have a spot now. Well, the spot wasn't showing up on my end for some reason.
I'll check the filtering on top. Because if it's
Yeah, I was going to look to see if I've got something.
Or...
I just have CW mode as a filter right now.
Ah, then it should be.
I was looking to see if... almost everybody's on higher bands right now, but you'd think that 40 meters at this time of day would be pretty good.
Should be, what's the time, 9:30? Yeah?
By the way, if you wanted to, we could put in a CW message memory for you.
This is more exciting.
It is. Gives you more of a workout.
Yes.
Oh, there we go. Yep. He always has a big signal out of Kentucky, too.
That's better.
Yeah, leaf blower QRM is commonplace in a morning at a park, and that's usually when I go out and do activations. It'll be really busy here later on today. It's a little quieter on 40.
Quieter. We can move to other
I'm also
band.
not getting really an RBN.
Yeah, only one spot on the reverse beacon we have from.
Oh, you have got.
Probably Tennessee Northwest.
Oh, that's how you're doing it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm.
But also on the POTA side, we've got a couple of guys spotted us
Yep,
already.
you've gotten spotted a bit. Our plan is, by the way, for Vlado to do the activation, then I'll do the activation. Instead of us doing two different stations at this particular site, we'll just do it this way. He's like pounding in. He's in the park with us. W4K AC. the little distortion that you're hearing here
More
in the video.
overdriving, yeah.
It's just overdriving the speaker.
speaker.
It has more to do with the speaker. The CFT1 sounds amazing. Audio is really good in it. And probably next time I take it out, I'll hook it up to a digital recorder so you can hear it straight off the radio. But for us working today, it makes sense for us not to use earphones. Has nice QSK actually.
It's quiet. The receiver is good.
Yeah, the
Hear
receiver is
it.
very
Beautiful,
quiet.
quiet.
And we found actually during field day, it did a pretty good job handling that really RF dense environment, which you wouldn't expect from a little field radio like this, but it did a great job. I like how the voltage is displayed on the display. I think somebody's got a bug.
I think you meant to say Georgia.
Yeah, I think so too. Because otherwise it would have been GT, right? Yeah. I tell you what, operating a bug is not something I do with any kind of elegance or I can't do it. It's not going to take long to do this activation.
Beautiful receive. Very low noise.
Yeah, very low noise.
I like that.
Audio is very nice on this radio.
KO4JKV. Asheville. Oh, he's in Asheville?
Ah,
oh, okay,
huh.
that's good.
We were working him on ground wave then, probably.
The band is so quiet. If it wasn't this
I know.
leaf blower, we had no QRM.
I know. It's just, I swear, it's just being with me that makes a leaf blower come out. The one that really gets me is the,
Michigan.
yeah.
Oh, park to
Oh,
park.
park to park. Yeah, the park that always gets me with leaf blowers and lawnmowers is the Folk Art Center. If I go there in the morning, almost guaranteed that they're going to be working on the grounds that day. Fortunately, I've never had anybody come through with the lawnmower under the tree where I'm working, so I'm not having to like lift up my antennas and stuff. But they keep our parks looking good.
That's why I usually go in the afternoon when
That's
the
right.
blowers are gone.
Vlado's been doing a lot of activating lately. I was looking at your POTA stuff, was it last night?
Oh, right.
And
That's a nice call sign.
it is. Vlado doesn't really have an issue if I talk while he's operating. It's not like me. My brain can only do one thing at a time. How do you like that key?
Beautiful.
Mhm.
Beautiful.
Isn't it nice?
Oh, this key is
It's a good one. It's a good one.
Excellent.
And with that little jeweler's block. So FER would be an interesting suffix, actually.
It's from Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Not much on the reverse beacon here, but we have few spots on the POTA side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So Vlado actually can operate and interpret CW at super high rates if he needs to. And he's been on D expeditions, he does a contester, so he can do that stuff, but why don't you do it during POTA?
During POTA?
It's because like nobody else.
First you have to consider low power we're using, and
Yeah.
we don't know the band propagation and all
Yeah.
that. I usually go slow speed, okay?
Mhm.
And if it picks up, if the band is really in good shape, then you can speed it up a little bit.
Yep.
And the rate goes up. As you can see, I'm cutting down on the exchange, 599 North Carolina, then 599 to speed up, because you don't know how long
Yep.
the propagation will last. So it all depends. You have to adapt.
And you have to think about your audience of hunters. And I've heard some people in the past, you can tell they're probably contesters who have gone out and done a POTA activation, and they're operating at like 35 words a minute. And like they don't get as many callbacks because people are a little intimidated by that speed. I'll never forget, Vlado and I were at a Ham Radio Club meeting probably 6 years ago now. And there was this really young guy, he must have been 13 years old or something. And you had mentioned to him, he was in a...
AA4LS?
Yes. He was operating in a contest at some blazing speed. And Vlado said, you did... Hearing thanks. I wonder what... but he was operating really fast speed, and Vlado said he listened to him during that contest, and he said, you did a great job in the contest, but he said, my piece of advice for you is slow down a little bit. You're actually going a little too fast for
You have to adapt on the audience. I mean, even now we may get somebody come back with super fast. You know, no problem. We'll get him.
Sure.
We'll get him. He just.
Nice call sign.
What we also need to make sure we are not interfering to somebody nearby, because there is somebody on 43, so 1 kilohertz away.
That's not too close though. No, I don't know.
Oh, no.
We could switch out here in a little bit if you want to, and if you want to do another, we can maybe do it.
Yeah.
So we'll keep it a little shorter today to do more parks.
Very good.
I'll try to do about the same amount.
I'll spot
If that's good for you, yep. You'll spot me?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Why not?
Let's move over here and now that you got the band all warmed up. Actually, I may. Yeah, I guess I'll just do 40 meters here too. Okay, let's see. Get everything together. So we got 40 meters CW, and the time. So it's 9. Well, it'll be 10, 11, 12, 13. If I get.
Yeah. Hands-free.
Cruise control. What I love about this radio, it's one of the very few radios I know that has 4 dedicated CW message memory buttons on it. And I know a fellow who just did I think it was the Colorado QSO party, and he used the CFT1 for the whole thing, QRP class, and really enjoyed it. I think 8.5 hours.
Oh, he's calling CQ, so we gotta watch that.
Ooh, that's somebody.
The best way is to move off, because
Yeah, I'm gonna move up to, let's see.
if he didn't hear us to begin with, then he won't hear us right away. So
No, I'm gonna move up to somewhere
better
around
to move off,
63. If I don't see anybody on 63, or maybe 62.5.
Okay, 62.
There we go. I want to take a picture of your logs so I can put that in the. Put this in there. In my field report that I make. There we go. Yeah, maybe we'll go to Table Rock after this.
Table Rock will be good, yeah?
We had a lot of rain last night, and it's making me rethink one of the places I thought about going today, which has a very rough. Was that 9? W9?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
N9, yeah.
great signal. Okay, 14 out, I'll take it. Georgia.
Listen to the pilot.
That's who I was hearing.
Yeah.
Good to get you in the logs there, buddy.
Yeah.
We have a good path into Florence.
WD4DAN and the other one, N4DT.
I swear I heard a...
N4 Kilo Papa Tango.
Okay, I'll go ahead and do that.
But there's a bunch of other ones coming. See, I warmed up the band for you, so...
Did I hear
easier.
WD4DAN in there too?
Yes.
Yeah. I'll get him next.
WD4DAN and N4 Delta Tango was there.
Yeah, I'm hearing him. They're pretty clearly now. He always has a strong signal, always.
DXS.
That's who I got.
That's the one.
He's a little off frequency, so his tone sounds a little different. It was easy to pick him
It
out.
helps in a big pileup like that when
Yes, it does.
people are slightly off frequency. Yeah, Kentucky's there.
Yeah, we know he's in Kentucky unless he moved since he worked you.
That's the example with the fast speed. Charlie Whiskey, number 4.
VA, I bet. What?
Yep. FXG.
Yeah, that's right. FXG. We'll get that one.
That's different, yeah. Oh, that's good. Let's see.
Georgia's got a strong path this morning.
Yeah.
Is that
Charlie
K4C?
Bravo whiskey.
See, how do you hear that? I lied, you're a 599. You're so much stronger than you'd sounded in the pileup. Okay, now what was that? GDW.
That's it.
Is that 5?
Yeah. That's it.
Strong signal.
Sounds like he's next to us somewhere. Yeah, North Carolina.
Okay, there we go. We'll get him.
There's
Strong signal. He's in the park with us.
he's yeah.
Yep, in the park with us.
NLD.
Great signal. Now I'm going to show you my cheat.
That's it.
But I have to do this. Okay, I'm going to get the W9 station first. I swear I heard.
There was a W9. Try again, yeah.
No. Okay, well, I'm going to do it.
It's pretty loud. Strong signal.
Wasn't expecting this many people, to be honest.
But the band opened up. You know?
Yes, it
Still
did.
Early, 10 o'clock. W4GSS.
I couldn't hear the SS,
Yeah.
but I heard that. Okay. This is where Vlado really excels. That's the thing you have to do in a de-expedition.
Yes, now you have to manage the pilot, right?
Yeah, you have to manage that pile up and hear about it. And see, in a de-expedition, of course, you'd be working split.
And not disappoint everybody, because somebody may just walk
That's right.
away thinking you're not copying them. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So, expedite them. November
Oh,
5,
there we go.
Yankee.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
This is the guy that made the little case down here. Are
There
the
we go.
I think he's in a park right now too.
Oh,
So Joshua made this.
oh, okay.
He's the guy behind Tufton. Really nice guy. Since we're doing a little raving today, I may cut it off after I get through this page.
AD NQ, yeah, that's it. 88 NQ.
I didn't hear the AD part. Yeah, I'll do one more here, or maybe two,
Just a few
then
more
we'll,
there, yeah.
and then we'll
okay.
move on to the next part.
There's a few more in the pile that may need.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, yeah. Somebody focus. Let's see.
Getting busier, isn't it? Labor Day weekend. I'll do one more and then I'm gonna call it quits for
We
time.
have a barbecue here, so
Yes, they do.
grill. I mean, so
Oh, yeah.
we have to plan for next time. Okay, and 4H.
I hate to cut people off when there's still more people there, but we need to move on to the next part. So I'm really sorry to all the people out there, but I am going to call it after this.
Let me jump in if you don't mind. You
Oh,
keep
really?
recording. Yes, we're gonna work them all.
Well, wait, I get. Who are you going to work as? Me? Or you?
Yes, yes, as you.
You got to work at. Oh, well. You beat it all. Oh, W4JL. We were just talking about him. I bet he's at one of the parks around here.
There may be people who need these parks, so we gotta work them. We gotta work them. Let's be fair. Come on.
I could have kept working. I was just trying to move on to the next park, but
Good. Okay, Virginia, 3891. There we go. We can work them. There's like 5 more there. We can work them. Keep going.
I know this is a West Virginia station too, which is nice to have WB at the beginning. Da 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 da.
Beautiful. That's 10, 15. Yeah, 10 more minutes. We'll get them.
KJ9X.
Yeah.
I heard him in there too.
Okay.
Indiana. This key is so nice.
Beautiful.
It's such a luxury having automatic logging.
It's cool.
This is teamwork here. We haven't had a lot of PAs this morning.
Yeah. Oh, it's 14.
I may call QRT now. Should I? Okay, CO. Oh, there we go. Yes.
There's 1 or 2, maybe more. That's good. Tennessee. See? There we go. That is it. I'll find you. See?
No takers
Work
that
them all.
time.
They work them all. There you go.
Okay, good.
There we
So let me
go.
take a picture of the logs here. By the way, Joshua sent me this photo from where he's operating right now,
Oh,
and I'm
that
not
is
half
cool.
wondering if he's on a soda summit, actually. This looks a lot
looks
like,
high, yeah.
oh, what's the name of that soda summit that he and I have gone to like twice before? Oh, I can't think of the name of it now, but it's not too far from, it's sort of north of Atlanta. in North Georgia, but it looks like it. Maybe it's not though. Okay, let's take some pictures of the log. So I've got that here. I don't want to forget that. And yes, we put all this in the video because it would not be complete without seeing behind the scenes.
Good.
Okay, so let's pack this all up. So first of all, this is just a killer combination. This little jeweler's block and the TP3 makes for just an incredible little setup for a key. I love it. The CFT1, this thing is really impressive. I gotta say, for a little radio like this, I had a bunch of people asking me, like, after I first made a post about this, because I think it's only been on the market maybe 4 weeks or something, and a lot of people noticed it looks a lot like the QMX or the QC Labs, QRP Labs radios. Yeah. And yeah, I think that Jonathan was probably inspired by the look of it, but it's kind of, I mean, a lot of radios look like this in a way where you have two knobs on the front, AF gain, tuner, an encoder, and then other buttons and a display. So he kind of went with that same look, but he didn't copy QRP Labs design at all. Inside, receiver-wise, there's nothing similar to it at all. The QRP Labs stuff is cheaper, and it's it's a really good system. I love QRP Labs stuff. It is cheaper, and it's even cheaper when it's pre-assembled. It's a lot cheaper. And it does more, like the QMX does more than this one. This is a CW-only radio, 5 bands, one filter setting, which is the same as a QRP Labs radio. It's slightly thicker than the QRP Labs radio. So there's no real reason. I mean, I don't see it as in competition, because I kind of look at these radios as just, Jonathan has a day job and he's just doing this for fun, but he made it available for everybody to buy if they want to. And it's a kit, and it's an easier kit to build than the QRP Labs kits are. In fact, you can even get pre-wound toroids for this one. So if you're wanting to do a transceiver kit and you're a little intimidated by QRP Labs, you can start with this one and build your way up to a QRP Labs radio. Because QRP Labs is a little more complicated, a little tighter fit, but extraordinary radios. Both of these companies are, I think, make extraordinary things. What I love about the CFT1, and I think why it's really rising to the top of some of my favorite little radios like this, is it's such a big deal to me to have dedicated message memory buttons on here. It's also a big deal that, I don't need to keep a manual with this radio. It has a menu system on it, and the menu system shows you what you have: CW speed, iambic mode, CW pitch. It has 13 messages, or 4 messages, 13 settings on here. There's not a lot to it. It's really, really simple. I mean, you can see there's just not that many memory or menu options, but it does XIT and RIT, which is really nice if you're doing contests or if you just want to operate with it. That's a really good thing. And it's just so simple that you can remember it all. And that's what I love about this radio, is the simplicity. I think that the audio characteristics in the receiver are really, really good. But for the people that are saying, oh, why get this when you can get QRP Labs? Get both. This costs more than the QRP Labs. This is $325, I think. I can't remember. Or $349. I can't remember now. But it's a great radio. And if you're wanting to build a kit, I think this is probably a more accessible one for someone who's new at building kits. But both of them are great, and you can't go wrong with either radio. And I know that Jonathan, KM4CFT, is a huge fan of QRP Labs radios and Elecraft radios and everything, So there's not really any competition there. I think but he's just done a fantastic job for this being his very first radio. It's pretty incredible. Beautiful. Yep. Okay, so I'll turn this off and we'll start to pack these things up and then move on our merry way. I just think this is the most clever thing for how this turns into a little stand. And then Joshua also made this TP3 case that has little rare earth magnets in it too, so it holds it tight because it kind of meshes with these that are on the bottom of this one. Now you can see here where I messed these up. I set them in the wrong way and they were opposed, and when the first time I put it in, it was like pushing it away, and I was like, oh, I gotta reverse the magnets. So I had to pull those back out and do it. And this is just a jeweler's block. There are a bunch of them on Amazon. I'll have a link to it in my video, but those are pretty easy to find. The radio came with this this is starting to wear out a little bit, I think, the mechanism in this. This is one of my older ones. There we go. It came with a little cord, and just this morning, right before leaving, I put the Anderson power poles on this one, Of course, operating this with earphones is ideal. You won't have any of those audio things you were hearing there, because that's just the speaker and the radio interacting. Start putting all this stuff up, and we'll put up the antenna. Yeah, I didn't film Vlado doing... He said I could, but I didn't film Vlado putting up the throw line the first time, because this is his very first time. And he did it, and he did one. It worked fine, but it was just a little lower. This one was ideal. It was up much higher and in great form. He did the whole thing really well. Let's see, I'm going to put this up. I brought this extra box with me with a bunch of stuff in it. We just decided last night to do this together today. We had the time. My wife actually encouraged me. She said, why don't you give Vlado a call and see if he wants to do some park activating tomorrow? And I don't say no to that. Did I put the key in here already? Oh, I put the key in here. I'll put this in here. I'm going to leave the thermocell out because it'll be hot. I'm just going to throw this stuff on top in my bag, because I'll probably use a different radio. We may use one of your homebrew radios or something.
We can do the
at the next one.
Yeah. We can do the
because Vlado homebrews radios. He's such a clever guy. Let's see. Okay. Oh, we got to put that up, but that'll go in my bag. I'll turn off the thermocell so that it can start cooling down just a little bit, and we'll be able to use this at the other sites if we need it. So I'll show you how I do. You know how I do my winding up of these things, right? So I do a big figure 8, and this way nothing.
It's tangled.
Except that's getting tangled right there, but
okay.
Nothing tangles up. You can deploy it really quickly, and I don't mind. I don't think that the bend radius on this is too bad. I've had this same cable. This is an ABR cable assembly, and I've had it for probably 2 years now, something like that, and I've never had any issues with it. And so when you do a throw line, what you want to do first is go to the other end, make sure that you're not tied off or have a weight on it. And because the last thing you want to do is untie the end if you happen, and this one's not this way, but if you happen to be able to touch the end of the antenna on the other side of the throw line, you never want to detach it and put your throw line up. You want to go ahead and pull it all the way through. And the reason why is with the throw line on, if for some reason the end of the antenna or something gets snagged in a tree, when you have access to that end of the throw line, you can always jiggle it and get it to work. If you've taken that away, then you may just be stuck, with the antenna in there. So we'll wind this guy up right now. Here we go. This is such an easy one to wind up too. We used our big collapsible box today because we are doing primarily park activations. I'm not sure if we're going to go do a soda activation. If we did, it'd have to be a really accessible one. There we go. It's always fun. Vlado and I are able. He's been doing so many POTA activations lately, and he's actually hit some of the parks around here that I haven't gotten around to hit this year. We've got a few new ones in the system. I haven't actually been around to them to activate them yet. It's been such a busy summer for me, and this fall's looking pretty busy too, but it's just the way it goes. There we go. We're at the end now. And then Vlado will probably flake the rest of that line in here. And thanks, Bob, for the picnic table cloth. And I used another blanket because it was super, super wet here. It's so wet and humid this morning because we had a lot of rain yesterday. And it was so humid I had to really kind of dry off the lens of the camera. See, this is just so quick. Now the bag works too. It takes a little bit longer to put it in the bag, but not much. Okay, oops. Keep that out. Because what you do here is you go ahead and whoops. Let's see, I'll hold this. You go ahead and tie this off. This needs to be burnt on the end. It's fraying out a little bit. Yeah. And what I do, because the big thing is you just want to be able to grab it pretty easily when you get into the pack next time. So I put it like this. There's a Velcro strap here, and I just loop it through here. Then you close it, and whoops. Wrong way. Close it up. Get across. Put it through here. And done as dinner. Until our next activation. And that's pretty much it. So yeah. I'll go ahead and pack up the rest of this off camera and we'll move on. Thanks so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. And yeah, 7.3, 7.2s. And like I say, be kind to one another out there because all we got on this planet is each other. Until next time, take care and 7.2s.